Welcome to London. Islamic shop, which faces the East London Mosque, main entrance for men. Whitechapel station, written in Bengali also. The natives are almost non-existent here. The process of a demographic change was quite similar to the one that occurred in France and Paris in particular. The demographics you find in this neighborhood next to those buildings does not fit together. I'm at Tower Hill Memorial, and I wonder what they would think about the state of the UK if they saw it nowadays. The Traitor's Gate. Unfortunately, it's out of use, so traitors can thrive in the UK nowadays. I'm standing next to the monument to the Great Fire of London. In 1666, much of the city was destroyed and then rebuilt from the ashes. But today, London faces a very different kind of transformation, not from fire, but from demographic change. For most of London's history, the population was almost entirely white British. Just to give you an example, even in 1950, in the entire United Kingdom, there were no more than 20,000 non-white residents. And by 2021, just in London, there are only 36.8% of people who identify as white British, according to the UK census data. And this is quite visible in the neighborhood we are about to walk through. So let's go there. So I'm heading to Aldgate, so leaving the city of London. So right now we are in Aldgate. So over there it's East London, Whitechapel, and over there is the City of London, financial center. So obviously East London, for most of its history, was almost entirely white British. Then some French Huguenots came, French Protestants that fled France because Louis XIV revoked their right. Some Irish came also, Jewish people from Eastern Europe came at the end of the 19th century also. And now, as you will see later, the demographics is not very European anymore. In the Tower Hamlets borough, or it's Whitechapel or elsewhere. In the past few decades, very rapidly the demographics here has changed completely, with population coming from other continents, mostly Southeast Asia, Bangladesh and so on. So we'll see that soon. So here's the Whitechapel gallery. Just on a quick note, a lot of you watch my videos and have not subscribed to my channel, so don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you get a notification when I release a new video. Now let's go back to the video. The demographics in the financial center of the City of London is mostly European, and as we walk towards the east, it's becoming more and more foreign. And I think it's quite the hypocrisy of our time that people do not dare to admit, and it's normal, there is nothing wrong with that, but different populations prefer to live among themselves. But at the same time, people say, mostly whites actually, white liberals, they say, oh, we should embrace diversity and so on, which they do not even practice. And I do not blame them for not practicing it. As I said, it's normal to prefer to live among people similar to you physically and culturally. But the way that they are not even aware of it, and worse, they push this diverse society by supporting immigration through various ways, their votes or otherwise. Yeah, it's quite a contradiction and hypocrite, and I think they are not even aware of it for the most part. Here you can see shop, Islamic shop. And here is the mosque, East London Mosque. The main entrance for men. Here, Islamic shop, which faces the East London Mosque, the London Muslim Center next to it. So all of this obviously is fairly recent, at least on a historical scale. On the scale of our life, it's not recent really. It has been the case for a few decades now. So here it's not very white British anymore. So as I said, a lot of people from Bangladesh, from Pakistan, from India, from Somalia also. Afghanistan, I saw some Afghan shop. Whitechapel station, written in Bengali also. Like 60 years ago or even 50 years ago, or even less, nobody would have thought that there would be Bengali writing at the entrance of a tube station. You can see the contrast between this nice building, which used to be a pub, I guess, a blind beggar, and what surrounds it now, which looks like quite a foreign market. So there is a contrast between these buildings that were built by demographics that was almost entirely British at the time, or French Huguenots, or Irish, some Jewish people also, and what it is now. And this happened very rapidly on the historical scale, just in a few decades. The process of a demographic change was quite similar to the one that occurred in France and Paris in particular. Some of the population imported are a bit different. Here there are more people from Bangladesh, from Pakistan and so on. And to be honest, contrary to Paris, so far nobody called me because I'm holding a camera in this neighborhood. Whereas in Paris, if you saw my videos over there, it was quite common. Whereas here, like so far at least, there seems to be less tension. The natives are almost non-existent here. But contrary to Paris, to similar neighborhoods in Paris, at least for now, I did not experience people being aggressive. But I know it's not representative of what's happening in England, at least not everywhere. I did not mention too much the grooming gangs and so on, but I encourage you to read the report on the grooming gangs. So there are some terrible consequences of the experience of multicultural society. It's a big scandal in the UK, and it's very terrible what happened to these young white British girls. But let's suppose there were no violence and so on. It would still be some form of violence for the natives to feel fine in their own capital city where their ancestors lived for centuries and centuries. When you force people to welcome millions of other people from different continents and vastly different culture, people naturally leave. So that's why here in this neighborhood and other ones like in Southall and many others, Tottenham and so on, there was what they call in the US white flight. Whether they experience some form of violence or tensions or not, just feeling fine in your own neighborhoods or own city can be enough to flee. So we're in Brick Lane now. I'm gonna walk up there a little bit. Yeah. Welcome to London. Mr. Detroit. So I should go to Detroit this summer. So there might be a video in Detroit. I will let you know about this. Just on a quick note, I recently opened a Buy Me a Coffee page. So for those who want to support me financially, click on the link in the description. So now let's go back to the video. So this building here has a very peculiar story. So this was built in the mid-18th century by French Huguenots, French Protestants fleeing France because they had their rights revoked by Louis XIV. Then in the late 19th century, some Jewish people came in the neighborhoods and this became a synagogue. And now, since the 1970s, when immigration from Southeast Asia became more and more present, this became a mosque. This nice Georgian building was built by French Huguenots, French Protestants. And now, very different kind of demographics. So here you can see Fournier Street. So Fournier is a French surname. It's even translated in Bengali, it seems. It seems to be Bengali writing. Some French Huguenots became rich because of the silk business. The demographics you find in this neighborhood next to those buildings does not fit together. Some people will say, but David, this neighborhood has always been diverse and so on, which first of all is not true. Like for a very long time it was white British basically. And then comparing what is happening now to some French Huguenot immigration, some Irish immigration, some Ashkenazi Jewish immigration from Eastern Europe. First of all, it's not comparable in scale. Right now the scale is huge. Like the amount of people that came to the UK in the past decades is millions of people. And also the cultural distance is vastly different. It's not comparable at all. What has happened in the past few decades is not comparable at all to the changes that occurred in this neighborhood and other neighborhoods also in the past centuries. So right now I'm at Tower Hill Memorial. So with the Tower of London over there behind me somewhere. So this memorial pays tribute to the men who died in both world wars. And it particularly pays tribute to those who were part of the Navy. When these men and women fought for their countries, England was still an ethnically homogeneous country. And I wonder what they would think about the state of the UK if they saw it nowadays. So this one here is for World War I. I think the one over there is for World War II. This one here is for World War II. So let me know in the comments what you think about the state of London right now, if you're from there or if you have been there recently. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you want to see more videos about how demographic change affects Western cities. Normally this summer I should make a few videos in the US, in Detroit, in New York City also probably, maybe back in Chicago. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe and see you for the next video. The Traitor's Gate. Unfortunately it's out of use, so traitors can thrive in the UK nowadays.